Guys, in our last topic, we talked about the guidelines. We have set the rules of our game, and the game here is waste management, and specifically circular economy. Because you guys are the way I heard you, you said you don't want something to be done linearly. You don't want us to take something from somewhere and we don't replace it. It means that we are depreciating our planet Earth, and with time, we find that we don't have the resources that we require, and we are all going to be extinct. We are going to die. Nobody wants to die. Do you like to die?
No.
You don't want to die, sindio? For our safety and the safety of our future. And when I say our future, we have offsprings. I know most of you dream of that, but mtafika huko.
Amen.
Na lakini kuna wengine bado umeshafika huko already. Kama mimi.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so we have set the roots. Now we are actualizing. We want action. We want something done on the ground. But how are we going to do it? And that's where now we require systems. The systems, they show us that this is now the way you want to do. This is now the way you are going to handle your waste. This is now where you are going to inaitonga depositing waste. You're going to deposit your waste. And when I'm saying waste, at the current at the 21st century, when I'm saying waste, it means that waste is something that you and me and our listeners, we have absolutely discovered that even if we try to have many conversation about that waste, we never find a way of using that waste. For me, that's what waste to me means. So in this juncture, we're going to talk about the systems which are in place in Kenya in terms of waste collection, in terms of waste segregation, and the various gaps which we encounter. So I don't want to take much in talking about the systems, and I want to give you the floor of saying the systems which are there, the gaps in these systems. Are these systems suitable for you? Are these systems suitable for the small businesses, SMEs in waste management, and the CBOs, and the smallest person in the society? So I don't know, we'll open the floor for us, but I would like you have smiled a lot. Maybe you can say something about the systems.
Yes. So for me, personally, my household waste is collected every 2 weeks. And each house usually pays 200 shillings in our building, which I think is very expensive. Don't look at me like that. It is expensive. I have paid less for waste collection. But yeah, so I really don't know what happens to my waste after that. I believe that they're taken to a landfill or something like that. But yeah, one of my issues with this waste collection system is, one, not everyone can afford that extra money every month. Two, I personally don't like the fact that it is not very regular, so you can find that you have waste for over 2 weeks, imeanza kudecompose kwa nyumba, and they've not come to pick it up. And three, I think there is, like, the fact that we pay for waste, those people who cannot afford Nini is where now the informal and illegal dump sites start happening. So we're living in, or people whose households can't be accessed, people who are living in crowded places.
Yeah.
Nadhani ni lori ngapi zinaingianga ndani ya vichochoro Mathare zikiokota waste?
Tuambie.
Okay, I don't work in Mathare. I do a lot of my work in Kibra, and I can assure you that they're relatable.
Yeah, they're relatable.
I can talk about Mathare alafu Washington ananiambia tu unaendaga kuchukua haraka uwezi. So like it's very difficult navigating this waste collection from some places. And then two, I think the cartelism in the waste industry, it would be so hard to have like an effective waste management system, because at this point it is a money making industry.
Business.
It makes a lot of money. My building has around 20 houses, 200 a house. That is 4,000. And when they come to pick our waste, they do not pick our waste alone. They do not pick our waste alone in a day. They do not pick our waste alone in a month. You can find that someone is serving even over 1,000 households in a week. How much money do you think that is?
With a mathematician in the room.
So as long as it is that beneficial, people are benefiting from not having a working system of waste disposal. I know we can expect, and Mercy is going to really say that, but at this point, like, the cartelism in the waste management business is quite up there. Waste then followed by water, but waste is quite high. And I think that is also one challenge and one systemic barrier that we have. And lastly, I think I was talking to Washington about waste speakers, and I was asking him, like, if I was a waste speaker, and he was telling me it depends on your capacity, your kujituma, and your strength. And I was like, no, just look at me. You look at me like this, you can see my capacity. You look at me like this, you either imagine how much naeza jituma, how much do you think I can make in a day from waste speaking?
Okay, vile mimi nilikuwa naona hiyo issue ya cartels. Hii project ya government ya affordable housing, is it not one of the ways of dismantling those cartels? How? Tumeask how. Hizi nyumba zenye za mabati uko ghetto zina take up a lot of space. Tukijenga flat yenye tuseme iko na watu maybe konda juu 10 story flat. Hii inaweza kuwa iko na nyumba ngapi?
Who are living in this affordable housing?
Who
are living in this affordable housing?
Is
are
they
the people who have been displaced to build them, or are they other people?
No, it's low cost affordable housing. So inamaanisha hizi nyumba zinatengenezwa Mkuru, mtu wa Mkuru anapewa priority so that atoke hapo aingie mahali pazuri. Sawa? So tukitoa huyu mtu hapa, maybe huko Mkuru hawananga enough toilets, but tumemleta kwa nyumba yenye hadi iko na chonda ndani. Sawa? So hapo tutakuwa tume-free up space cause tutahitaji how many story buildings ziende juu. Umenipata? You get that?
I get you, but the point
from where I'm coming
let
from.
me just interject 1 minute. The fact is, we are displacing people to build affordable housing, right? Me, honestly, I don't feel like housing is affordable, and how can a link affordable housing unaweza repair? So we are finding that people who can actually afford living somewhere else are the ones who are getting into this affordable housing, which means that those people who are pushed are going to be more crowded elsewhere. They're going to be more crowded elsewhere because they still need to relocate. They still need to live somewhere. Even just during the period that building is being built, but they need a space to live. Because ukiwatoa hapo, it's not that you are renewing them immediately. You're not compensating them immediately. You are not putting them in these houses immediately. Which means that ukiclear his space, that unajenga affordable housing, tutakuja kusonga tu hapo penye watu wengine wamebaki, and it becomes more crowded and more chaotic and a lot of issues. And even like now, waste become more, managing waste become even harder, flying toilets increase, whatever. So it is important to analyze, like, these things are really good on paper, but who is actually benefiting and who is bearing the most of challenges that comes with these projects? Who is bearing the most challenges? Say tukisema that we want to incentivize waste pickers ama waste collectors, and mimi nina collect, nauzia Washington na 25 bob. Washington anaenda nauza na 50 bob juu yeye ako na mingi, and someone can actually pick. Me, I have to carry my 10 kgs of plastic. You can imagine how 10 kgs of plastic looks like if I do not have a presser. I have to carry my 10 kgs for plastic. I'm going to sell to Washington. Nimepanda nayo bike ameniambia, hii nini kubwa hivi? Lipa 100. Nimeenda nimeuzia Washington 25 bob. Amenipea 250. Nimebaki na 150 from maybe 2 days work or a whole day's work. Nikiwa nimejituma sana. Nimebaki na 150. Who is benefiting from these incentives? Who is carrying, like, if this waste is not collected, who is affected? Because high-end places, you'll never find issues about waste. They have their own systems that are working for them. But when you come to mimi ni lower middle class, by the way. Mimi ni lower middle class. And I can tell you, even where I stay, we have waste issues. I'm not living in a very crowded informal settlement, but I work there, and it is a lot of waste that is there, and that affects health, as she said, immediate health. For me as a woman, or for me as a girl, even more. If waste is not moving, I suffer more than you would as a man. If you're not getting water, I suffer more than you would as a man. And these things, who is being affected the most? We understand there is goodwill. Affordable. Okay, I don't think there's goodwill with affordable housing, but some of these policies are with goodwill. Some of these projects are with goodwill. But who's benefiting? Who's controlling them? Who's benefiting? And who is carrying now the effect of that project being there?
Maybe Humphrey should tell us what exactly he was going at with bringing on board affordable housing on this conversation on waste management. So is it the space for throwing the waste? Or why did you bring up affordable housing?
The reason I brought that up, kwa sababu for hizi infrastructure kuwa hapo kama material recovery facilities, lazima we have space.
For dumping.
We have space. Lazima we have space. Lazima we free up space for this infrastructure. For community recycling hubs, lazima we have space. Sawa? Na hizi nyumba zenye nimekuambia example, hizi nyumba zikiwa chini, watu ni wengi. Sawa? Tuseme 10-story building inaweza carry 100 households. Tukifree up your space ya 100 households, that's a lot of space. You get where I'm driving at. Sawa? Wait, let's go up to that. Sawa? Secondly, tukieka waseko hizi nyumba, itakuwa rahisi to create a system.
I can interject, maybe if I can interject. I'm getting Humphrey, whatever he's saying. Now, let's say that we are 1,000 people. Scenario, 1,000 people. Every person amejenga nyumba yake. Single room, ama 2 rooms, but iko flat, space ni moja. We are utilizing the ground space. And when you are utilizing the ground space, you realize that these people, 1,000 people, are going to take a lot of space to occupy. And when you take a lot of space, there are some things you are not going to have. You are not going to have the social amenities, places for social amenities, places of recreation, places of dumping your waste. Let's not use the word dumping, of properly managing your waste. So whatever he's saying is that these slums, when you look at the houses, they are informal, ni mabatis. They don't even have what? Toilets. And maybe the president ameangalia akasema, let us build the houses. Maybe yeye hakuangalia mambo ya waste. But for us, we are looking at in this perspective of what? Waste. These people are going to have to utilize space kidogo. And these houses have already systems installed in it, because the government cannot come and build a story building yenye haina sewage collection, vile ina collect, haina, instead of wewe kurusha nini uchafu yako kuangukia mtu mwingine asubuhi akitembea, at least you have a flush toilet inachukua kwa sewage system. Umeona what he's saying? So like it's a system, umeangalia, instead of throwing hiyo uchafu kwa overhead, inaitwa aje, flying toilet at least you are in your house, umeenda, you have gone to your latrine, you have flushed whatever you have, and that flushing means you have already started managing your waste properly. Yes.
Looking at you like, do you really know your government?
No,
do you really know your government? But
we are talking about a system.
If it was an ideal situation,
Unajua,
it would be great.
watu wanajua history ni watu wako Mkuru, watu wako Madhare, au ndio wanaweza tuambia.
Okay,
we get those houses.
We want to look at it as a system way of working.
Let me just try to interject something, and I'll keep saying that we forget a few things. And one is, how much do you think it costs someone to live in a cardboard house? Roughly how much? You can live in a cardboard house even for 1,500 a month, or 2K. How much do you think the cheapest affordable housing cost?
6,000.
6,000.
6,000 is the same price as my bed sitter huko Ruiru, by the way.
Let's say you are
And-
you are advocating for people to remain in the
No,
slums.
I'm not advocating for people to remain in the slums. I'm just saying affordable houses are not that affordable. And if I cannot afford to move into that affordable housing, what am I going to do? I'm going to move elsewhere and build my informal house again. It is not about advocating for people to remain in a certain situation. It is about thinking, what is the most immediate need of this person? And how can we help address that? Because if housing is not my immediate need, if I'm comfortable living in my mud house and you want to force me to move into a concrete building that I cannot afford, are you really helping me? If what I
Okay.
need is for clean water to pass through, and let me tell you, if it is a priority for us, we will find a way to make it happen. If waste management is a priority for us, hata kama tutajenga 2 rooms mbili pale kando tuseme eti hapa ndio tutakuwa tuna aggregate waste yetu, it will happen. A lot of waste aggregation is happening in informal settlements. They're not happening in high-end places or middle-class places. They're happening in informal settlements with the little infrastructure that is there, because it is a priority for them. Either that is how they make money, or either that is how they make the environment cleaner and better. If something is a priority, people make it happen with the little that they have and the little that they can afford. You cannot create another problem trying to solve a problem, because in that way you can create an even bigger problem, an even bigger issue. And I'm going to bring this as a feminist, by the way, something called intersectionality. Things don't just stand alone. These problems build on each other. Poverty, waste, health, water access, they're things that are building on each other. They're not just independent problem. If I cannot manage my waste properly, my water is affected. My food production is affected. Even my work could be affected. My health could be affected. Intersectionality. So when you choose to address my housing situation without considering my work or considering my poverty, you are not really helping me. You are putting me in another cycle of loss and a certain way. And I can live there. Maybe nimechanga 6,000 nimelipa rent ya miezi mbili. What happens when I cannot afford? I will be thrown back outside with my stuff.
So what do you think are the immediate fixes that we can do about that? The fixes.
Do what you can with what you have.
And
empower systems that are already there.
Yeah.
Empower systems that are already there. And I will reiterate, a lot of collection, aggregation is happening in informal settlements. How do you incentivize them more? How do you motivate them to do more? How do you ensure that this work is actually paying as well as it should? And okay, scrap metal is very good example, but also plastic waste is also expensive. I'm selling it to you at 25 bob, and you're ending up at selling it at 150 or 200, and I'm getting 25 bob as the lowest or the bottom feeder. How can we ensure that this money trickles down? It's not a lot, but how does it end up to the person who needs it the most, who does most of the work?
Maybe let's go to the to Nini. I want you to, because you are doing something in informal settlement.
Yes.
And you are collecting the waste actually. So we want to know in terms of systems, do you feel like you are part of the system, or you are just there, you are doing your own things? And if you are doing your own things, or if you are part of the system, how do you think you will be formalized? Do you work formal?
Currently, let me just say that how you live should not be like a contributor to how you handle your waste. Because however you live in a cardboard house, however you live in a bungalow, the same principle remains. Your waste is your responsibility.
Yes.
But in the system, talk about system is like making sure that there's effective road access. Yes, where someone can actually, like, there's a truck, county truck, can be able to go and get or access to the waste that is disposed in this, like, not permanent, but how can I put, like, the semi-permanent, like, holding grounds. Yes, and also as you can see, the current state of the county, it's purely more like 70% linear, because you find that they are still launching trucks and many trucks. So
dump.
it means that these trucks the main purpose of the trucks is just to take the waste and take it to the landfill. But that's also like a challenge, because we find that's the current system in Nairobi. And also there's this aspect of mismatch when it comes to enforcement and implementation. And also like we find that these government agencies are still like working in silos, and their work is really, they're fighting amongst each other. You find that NEMA is on this side advocating for this, county at the same time is advocating for this. So there's a confusion in the entire system, because there's no like a common ground. They're not working in one unison. It's still problematic. And
we can personalize that, and we say that our current system is confused. We give it character.
Give it
because
incoherent sounds better.
Confused because if the NEMA is working independently and the other one is working independently, and there's no congruency, so that's confusion.
Because when you find sometimes NEMA can come up with like an enforcement, but the county may not agree. But that's final. So they need to be like a one like centered point of discussion, whereby there is literally all stakeholders. So you find that this is an enforcement, but in a view of the common mwananchi, in a view of the waste pickers, in a view of these waste actors, or these like the downstream waste actors. So the current system, there's something that needs to be done, because you'll find that I can attest that there is awareness going on. There's cleanups that we always take, but the current system on the consumer is that they are massively ignorant.
So there's a very meaningful term you have used there, which wraps up this topic. That there's something which needs to be done, and if you feel like there's something which needs to be done, it means that our systems are either working. You have said some of the arguments you said here is that they are working, but not the way they are supposed to work, and not the way of circular economy. So there's something which needs to be done in our systems, in the way we collect our waste, in the way we transport it, in the way we empower our informal workers and companies to do circular economy, recycling, reuse, and
also allocation of land. Land for doing this work.
Those are some of the gaps that you have, that some of you don't have land. Unapata watu wamethrow waste hapa, sijui ni wapi kando ya barabara, and yet they have collected from the homestay. When they do that, it means that there's a gap in waste collection, and our systems need to be treated with the government. We need that partnership, the flow. We have collected, where is it moving to? Not moving to anywhere else. So at this juncture, we have seen that there's various fixes that needs to be done to our system, and I think we have wrapped up that session, and we're going to move to our next session, which now is going to look at the role of youths in this space.